Hello, it's Bevan Bird with a soul-to-soul connection with Rita Morgin today. And she is a land healer. She's in a tree right now, actually. She is a transformational catalyst and a door opener, and she aligns spaces and amplifies energy. And Rita aligns the land of your heart to you and energetically introduces you to the land that you're looking for. And for realtors, she aligns the land to the perfect buyer, helping it sell faster. And well, welcome. Look forward to learning about land healing today.
Hi, Bevan. Great to be here.
I'm happy to be talking with you. What kind of world do you want to create?
I want to create a world where everybody knows that they deserve heaven on earth here and now, and the energy is available to them to do it. And that is my dream, is to create heaven on earth, land by land, person by person.
Beautiful. Why do you do the work that you do?
Because the land calls me to. I do it because it makes me feel really happy and whole and joyful. When I'm listening to what the land needs and what the energies need, the energies and spaces that haven't been cared for, I can see what they need, what doors they need to open, and I bring the energy to them so that each space is cared for and has exactly what it needs to live in love and light.
Oh yeah, love it. When did you start doing this, or when did you start to maybe feel or hear the calls of land?
I have been doing this unconsciously since I was a little kid. I used to sing to trees, and my dad was a gardener. I used to follow him everywhere in the garden, and that was just brought me joy. I used to live barefoot in the garden. I didn't realize what I was doing consciously until I started hearing the land scream when I came. And sometimes the land would scream, "She is here, she is here." And I didn't think I was going crazy. I just tried to ignore it until other people started going, why is the land screaming, "You are here, you are here"? And I go, because I wasn't here for the last month. Even though I was here, I was, totally not embodied and not present. And so having somebody else confirm that made me listen more to what was going on inside of me.
Who was influential along your path in becoming a land healer?
There were a lot of people. The place where I live now is a really good, safe place. They're really strong energy workers, and they invited me to live there. And I said, yeah, that's a bit farther than I want to go to have a garden, until the tree on that land started coming to me in my dreams. And then I said, well, maybe I should look at, having a garden on your land. And it turned out to be a very good and safe place to learn what it is I do and how much I help bring love and light and elevation to dead souls that have not been cared for, and to really fill in and touch the land and what the land and spaces need.
Yeah. How does this affect people's lives, like people living on the land in their house, even if they're renting a place or working in a place, right? How does it affect people, this kind of work?
Well, sometimes people come home and they go, you know, my day was perfectly fine until I got home, and then I just got angry and grumpy, and it's like, what is going on with the energy of my house? It's like, okay, your house probably needs a cleaning and a clearing, and maybe, you know, get rid of a few entities that need a little bit of loving care rather than hanging on to you.
Yeah.
And so usually the people feel something just not quite right, and then I come in and we talk about what heaven on earth is to them, the dreams that they have for the land, what they'd like to give to the land, what, you know, what kind of a place they'd like to create for themselves. And when I do that, people get really, really calm, and they feel the energy and the spaces around them really supporting them. Most people fall asleep. I put peaceful to sleep. A lot of people say they've had the best sleep ever, and they find that their space is a welcoming sanctuary, a welcoming haven.
Hmm. Oh yeah, that's great. You can't really put a price on that. And it's like peace of mind too.
Right.
Right. Love it. What if someone has lots of clutter and they don't know what to do about it? That could be spooky.
That's what Archangel Michael is good for. Archangel Metatron, Archangel Michael, Saint Germain and the Violet Flame. I use these to do a Bagua clearing and just move the energy in spaces. And it's amazing that people will go, you know, I'll go to my friend, one of my friends, I said, you know, the attic feels really cluttered. I think I'm going to send the energy up there. And she goes, oh, yes, the attic has stuff in it from generations before, even before we bought the house. And as soon as I cleaned and cleared that, she was able to go up there and actually start removing the items and sending them off to where they belong.
That's great. Who are last night I was thinking about who I was most grateful to, or just being grateful to different people along the way that I've learned from, and also listing out the successes of the day. It was a big day yesterday. Who are the people that you're most grateful to along your path?
I think one of the people who really opened me up to listening to what's going on in the land around me is Deb Reagan. She's talking to spaces person. She does a lot of Bagua clearings and energetic feng shui. Another person, I had a very good mentor named Darren Linton, and he's in England. He helped me to open up to the heavenly energies and the angelic realms, and call on them for assistance. It's like they're my team members right now, that I can call on them and say, hey, I need your help with this. And they're right there.
Yeah.
And I don't think without any of those people, I would have even been able to start on the path.
Are there any others?
I have a buddy group from one of my first healing, energetic healing courses, and we're still buddies. We still call each other weekly. Her name is Lynn Earhart at Light Warrior Arts. She is a great healer who was trained at the Berkeley Psychic Institute long ago, like 30 years ago. And she has some real good techniques that have been really useful to me. And I being one of those people that's coming from out of nowhere with um, no training in the regular way of doing things, I come with a completely open mind and I take these energy things that she does and I go, oh yeah, you can do this with that. And she's like, oh, it's so fun the way you think. And so between the two of us, we have made some really heavy energetic processes that are really supportive and helpful to holding your space while allowing everybody else their space.
Very cool. Well, this is giving me a deeper insight. Okay, well, what about door opening? Can you tell us more about door opening? Like, what is a door and that stuff?
The way I do my energy is I create doors and then I paint them on rocks or sticks. And I call them my rock friends and my tree friends. And they're usually messages with energy in them. Like lemon tree gives me lemon clarity, and the message from my friend Lemon Tree is clear vision, all paths. And so when I want to open the door for clear vision, when I need to make a choice and I'm uncertain and I want to know what serves my highest good, I call on Lemon Tree and lemon clarity. Another door I open an awful lot is self-love. And I just painted this symbol on this rock, and it's a symbol I've been painting all my life, and I didn't really understand it other than it's kind of like what goes around comes around, as above, so below. It's like the symbol of the way things are in an atom is the same way things are in the broader universe. And it just encompasses all of that for me. And I didn't realize until I saw somebody else's work, and I can't think of the guy's name, he had painted the same symbol and called it self-love. And I said, well, yeah, of course that's self-love. But I have been painting that symbol since I was maybe 5 years old. So I open these doors up for people, and I bring in the love and light from those doors, and I offer it. It's a door, so you can choose to go through the door, or you can choose to say yes to the door, and you can choose to say no. It's a possibility, an option for you. I'm just making sure that it's open and available if you want it.
Mm-hmm. Thank you for offering those doors in my logo and then in creating them or opening them up.
You're welcome.
Mm-hmm. Did I already ask you why you do this work? I think you'd already said that.
Yeah, because the land tells me to.
Okay.
I have gone to places and have had visions or things come up to me. The scariest one was the first time I consciously did it, and I went to a churchyard in Vancouver, British Columbia, and I stepped onto this park that was a really decrepit park, and I felt the like 100,000 dead say, we're coming home with you. And I said, no, the hell you're not. You're staying right here until I call you. And then I took a little tiny bit of dirt and took it home to my friend, who happens to be a person who does work with the dead to elevate the dead when they are in need. And she took one look at me and she said, they called you because you have the door that they want you to open. They wouldn't have called you or talked to you if you weren't the person that they needed. And I'm going, what door? And she goes, you made this door long time ago. It's called the Summerlands. And I'm going, oh, Summerlands, that's right. I painted this door in my art studio. And I'm going, why does the Summerlands sound vaguely familiar? And then I went over to a friend and I go, do you know anything about the Summerlands? I just painted a door to the Summerlands. And she goes, yes, it's the door of the dead. It's the door to the land of the dead. And so I opened the door to the land of the dead while my friend was holding space, and the 100,000 dead went through the door. And there was one energy left behind. And that one energy that was left behind, it didn't feel like a dead human spirit, and it felt like it belonged there. And my friend happened to say, yes, that's the spirit of the land. It belongs there. And so I closed up the door. I said, thank you. And I thought I was done and I would never have to do this again. I was wrong. That night, the spirit of the land came to me and said, I need your help. And it wanted me to reconnect it and rededicate it to the network of sacred gathering spaces across the universe. So I did this, and I just opened up and I rededicated it, that land, to the network of sacred gathering spaces across the universe. And I felt the energy just expand and expand. And the whole space lit up, and it felt like the land was itself, the light grid on the land was just being lit up and saturated with light. And then the land said thank you and was gone. And in the meantime, I'm kind of euphorically spread across the universe going, what just happened? And that's what I do.
Oh, that's a beautiful story. You would have a field day here, I think, in Mexico. There's a Day of the Dead.
No, I would not have a field day. I avoid the Day of the Dead.
You avoid it?
Yeah, I'm a reluctant spirit worker. I happen to do what is asked of me. I don't actively.
Yeah. All right. All right. So Rita, how do you help clients?
Each session is uniquely supported for the clients. I'm bringing in the perfect combination, the perfect blend of heaven energy and earth energy as serves highest good. And we focus on what the person is trying to bring into their life and align the spaces around them and the energy around them to support that. So like the last person I worked with, she is looking to find a perfect home to raise a family, and she is looking to get pregnant. And so we aligned her with the home of her heart and the land with her and her family. And then we seeded the land with seeding love and seeding possibilities and seeding joy. And we just saturated the land with all of these qualities, the peace and the harmony and the joy and the love of family life into this space.
All right. Beautiful. And also, just for everyone listening, we also have Erin here as a guest. So Aaron, if you have any questions, feel free to ask.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Thanks, Rita. It's getting pretty dark there.
The sun has gone down. I
Yeah.
can climb out of the tree if you'd like me to.
Well, I just want you to be safe. It's probably better to stay in the same spot. But yeah, we're probably pretty close to the end of it. It got dark here a while ago, but I'm an hour past you. Okay, great. Well, what is your greatest gift?
My greatest gift is that I'm able to become the path and observe what needs to be cared for. And I can feel and see and channel the energy that is needed to bring love and light and care to all beings in a space.
Thank you very much. What is your message for people?
My message is, when you're in a session with me, I want you to know that you have every right to interrupt me, to say what works for you, to say what doesn't work for you, to say, no, that's not for me, to say, what I'd really like is this. And there is no energetic process that I'm doing that you cannot interrupt and say what is needed, to say what you feel. To me, that is what guides where the energy needs to go next. And to me, that's the most beautiful and valuable thing, is that opportunity to interrupt and say, this is what my heaven on earth is.
Mm-hmm.
And not to settle for, well, that's kind of close. You have the right to your perfect personal heaven on earth. And I want you to know that it's here for you, here and now.
That's awesome. I love it. So you talked about land healing and door opening. What about being a transformational catalyst? What does that mean, or what does it mean?
It means, don't speak to me if you don't want your world to change. If you like the status quo, I am not the person to be around. Luckily, I believe that transformation is meant to be gentle and bring ease and grace. And if at any point in time you're feeling uncomfortable around me, I invite you to let me know. And I have done land clearings where, I said, this is a lot of energy. And if you feel at all uncomfortable, just let me know and we'll modulate it to your perfect comfort level. And the person said, yeah, I am getting kind of afraid. It feels good, but I'm just not used to such energy, not being harmful. And so I simply said, Spirit that I am, please modulate the energies to serve highest good and bring the most comfortable level and space to this person. And instantaneously, she said, the fear's gone.
Okay.
The energy's still strong, but the fear is gone.
Mm-hmm. Wonderful. I've heard about some of the collaborations that you've done with maybe shamans or energy workers, or light workers. So who are the kind of people that you are excited to collaborate with, or that you do collaborations with, of moving massive amounts of energy?
I like to work with people who work with energy and see energy, because what I do amplifies the energy. So there's more possible when I'm around, and there's more possible when you're in a group with intention. And so things that I have done recently is a meditation group where we meet and we just hold the earth in love and light. Another one, we have done energetic cleaning for the city of Seward, Alaska, who's going through some challenging times, and there have been a lot of history where the native peoples have not been best served, the land has not been best served, and so we're clearing those energies and saturating the land with love and light to heal that situation. I've met another person who is working on land in Colorado that has been disturbed for ages, and I am working with that person to alleviate the land of the energetic debris left from war and fighting and trauma. And one of the things that we did is she was very comfortable bringing Archangel Michael in, and we had this conversation, and I said, now, a lot of the native peoples aren't too thrilled about angels coming in because when they originally came in, sometimes the people who brought these angels in were not doing very kind things to the land and the peoples, and so sometimes that's an issue, and the land itself wants to be in on it. And this person goes, now I feel uncomfortable. And I go, perfect. Now we back up and just act as if you're talking to the land directly. And tell the land what you would like to do for it and what you would like to bring. And then ask the land if it is willing to let Archangel Michael come in and clear the energetic debris that the land has been burdened with for years. And this is a person who professes not to see or understand energy. And she immediately said, wow, that feels much better. The agitation is gone, and the land's like, it's about time.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a really beautiful transformation that I get to witness on people, is they start to trust their own feelings, that if you're agitated, if you see something that makes you feel uncomfortable, there is a reason you're agitated, and it can be as simple as witnessing and saying, what do you need? What kind of love, and light, and care can I bring to you?
Is that a tool like we can all use?
Everyone can use that.
Mm-hmm.
You have feelings for a reason, and if you're willing to look into those feelings, you can serve yourself and serve the spaces around you by sending love and light and care to those feelings.
Oh, that's great. That's inspiring. Well, thank you so much, Rita, for your time today.
You're welcome.
Where can people connect with you and find out more about you?
I'm Rita Morgin, and you can find me at www.spiritearthministries.com, and my email is spiritearthministries@gmail.com.
All right, excellent. Well, I look forward to talking with you again. Thanks so much for sharing today.
You're welcome.